Look who we have here, guys. The one and only Mr. Brock McGoff from
The Modest Man.
How you feeling today, man?
I feel great. Thanks for having me on the channel.
Absolutely. I hope you're all as excited as I am, guys, because today we're speaking with Brock about all things fashion from the point of view of two men who are, well, not the tallest in the game.
Of modest stature.
I feel like it's a bit dusty in here, though. Should we go somewhere else?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right, this is much better.
A lot better. Nice place you got here, man.
Yeah, man, thank you. So, just in case there are a couple of people who may not be familiar with you yet, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Brock McGoff. I run The Modest Man. It's actually started as a blog, like a website, and then it's a YouTube channel, Instagram, and I basically try to publish high quality, like really easy to follow style advice for men, and it's all presented from my perspective. You know, I'm a shorter guy, 5'6" in shoes, and so I kind of present everything from that perspective.
All right, that's cool, man. And so when did you first start getting into fashion?
So believe it or not, dude, not in high school, not in college. It wasn't until like my mid-20s. I was working like a corporate job, and I remember I went to this one meeting and I brought my college backpack, and my boss told me after the meeting, he's like, don't bring that backpack to a meeting ever again. He's like, get a real bag. And so, you know, that's kind of a wake-up call. And I remember there was this one guy at my office who always dressed really sharp. Yeah. And I asked him one day, like, what's your secret? And he told me where he shopped, and I was like, I shop at the same places. And then he just mentioned that he gets his clothes tailored. And that was like a light bulb. And I realized that none of my clothes fit properly, and that's why I didn't look good. So that's kind of how I started getting into it.
All right, so did you like start getting all of your clothes to the tailor and get them altered, or?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a process. Like I took like one pair of jeans, you know, and then I saw how it fit, and you know, I was kind of hooked. So yeah, I stopped focusing so much on like which brands and like how much money to spend, and more on like how my clothes fit.
All right, that's cool. And so how long did that style journey take? Like how old are you now?
I'm 34.
34, all right.
Yeah, cool. And I'm still on that style journey.
Of course, it never ends, right?
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So as a short guy myself, I find that, especially when growing up through my teenage years, I often felt like my height was something that was holding me back. And it kind of affected my confidence, you know? I looked at other kids in school and kind of wished I was just that little bit taller, you know?
Yeah.
Did your height ever affect your confidence?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially in like high school, because everybody else started to hit those growth spurts, and I kind of just stayed the same. And so I looked really young, you know, and I was smaller than other guys. And yeah, it was definitely, it was a source of insecurity, you know, especially during those teenage years. But I think the older I got and the older I get, the more I realized that, you know, you can't dwell on that stuff because you can't control your height. You can't do anything about it. Yeah. And so I try to really focus on the stuff that I can control, like how I dress.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go about it.
It's the only way, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit more about style and how your height relates to that. Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, but to me there are 4 elements that you can kind of play around with so that you can look more visually flattering. Your silhouette, your figure. Yeah. And to me those are colors, patterns, fit, and proportions. Yeah. What are the best practices in each of those elements that you can kind of play around with to enhance your silhouette as a short guy?
Yeah, I think you can definitely break it into those 4 categories. Color, and you know, you don't have to follow this stuff, by the way. Like I just want to say, like especially with your style, like you see Tim wearing like looser silhouettes and you know, some like brighter, bolder colors, and I think that's really cool, and like that's fine if you want to kind of experiment with your style. But if you do want to dress in a way that, you know, kind of makes you look as tall as possible and lean, I think with colors you should go for low contrast outfits. So it doesn't matter if you want to wear dark colors or light colors, but if you wear dark colors, wear all dark. So like a dark shirt, dark pants, dark shoes. You know, light shirt, light pants, light shoes. And that way you kind of have this streamlined look where the vertical line isn't broken. You know, so if you're wearing a white shirt and black pants, you're kind of cutting yourself in half. Yeah. And so when I put together an outfit, I try to avoid, you know, cutting myself in half horizontally.
So what about like belts? Is that recommended, or?
I'd say if you don't need one, don't wear one. Like if you have trousers that that, you know, don't need a belt to stay up, just remove the belt loops. Or if you get custom pants, don't get belt loops, get side tabs. With jeans and stuff, yeah, you can wear a belt, but you know, if you have dark pants, wear a dark belt.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So then we have fit.
Okay.
Right? Fit is probably the most important aspect of style. Again, for shorter guys, you know, feel free to experiment, but I think a good rule of thumb is like, just trim the fat.
Yeah,
you know?
like trim the fat.
Yeah, so you don't want to have like a whole lot of excess fabric around your chest or your biceps or your ankles. So, you know, get your pants hemmed to the proper length so that they're not breaking on top of your shoes. Get the leg opening reduced, you know, so it's not, you got that nice tapered, the lines kind of follow your actual legs.
Yeah, get a nice taper.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, get your shirts taken in so they're not billowing out around your waist.
Yeah. That infamous muffin top.
The muffin top just kills you, yeah, especially if you're like a business casual guy, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, like for me, sleeves are always too long, so I get my sleeves shortened, because otherwise it just kind of makes me look I'm wearing like hand-me-downs or something.
Yeah, like your dad's shirt or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you know, and that has the double effect of making you look shorter and younger.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not a great look.
Yeah. So yeah, those are colors and then fit.
Yeah.
And then we still have patterns and proportions. How would you play around with those?
So for patterns, I would say it's okay to wear whatever kind of patterns you want. Like, a lot of people say shorter guys shouldn't wear horizontal stripes. I think it's fine. Just make sure they're small in scale.
Yeah.
You know, so thin stripes, not thick stripes.
Okay.
And it's the same with any other pattern. You know, gingham, polka dot, just think of small scale patterns, not big scale patterns.
I see. All right.
And then proportion is our last one. And this is really for accessories. So think like watches, glasses. Like if you have small wrists, wear a small watch. You know, if you have a narrow face, wear narrow glasses. So just kind of try to buy stuff that's the same size as you.
Thank you for those awesome tips, man. Brock just dropped some value bombs right here, guys. I'd love to see how some of those tips translate into some real world outfits, man.
On one condition. You have to make me look really cool with some cinematic B-roll and slow-mo and lo-fi hip-hop.
I can do that, man.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Those were some awesome outfits, man.
Thanks for making me look cool.
So as a short guy, I often find it difficult to find things that fit me well off the rack. Do you ever experience the same issue?
Yeah, like 90% of the time.
Man, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's annoying.
So what are some of your favorite brands where you'll find clothes that fit you well directly and you don't need to get them altered or anything?
Yeah, my number one recommendation would be a brand called Peter Manning NYC. They're based in New York but sell online, and they make everything from like t-shirts to suits to jeans.
Okay.
Like pants with, you know, down to 26-inch inseams. So like,
oh, that's great.
You don't have to get them hemmed, you know. So yeah, that's a great brand. And then the other good strategy is like either going custom, like made to measure, you know, for formal wear, and then also just buying like more affordable clothing so you can save some money for alterations.
All right, I'll definitely need to try some Peter Manning clothes, man.
Dude, yeah, we gotta get you some Peter Manning.
So, what's your current favorite item in your wardrobe?
I'd say since I'm like pretty casual most days, my dark wash jeans, and specifically my skinny stretch dark wash jeans from Peter Manning.
Oh yeah, that's a good staple. Can't go wrong with dark wash jeans.
Yeah, man.
Before we wrap up, what advice would you give to other short men out there who may be struggling with their style right now?
Yeah, I'd say like on a practical note, like if your clothes don't fit well, they're not gonna look good no matter what else is going on. So, you know, find a tailor that's near your home or your office and go visit them often, you know, and make sure your clothes fit.
Your tailor's your best friend, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, on a more higher level note, like I get it that it can be a bummer, like, you know, being a shorter guy and feeling insecure about that. you're not alone. Like, we know how that is and how it feels, especially for you younger guys. But just remember, like, there's so much stuff in life that you can control, like the way you dress and your fitness and your relationships. And it's really important just to focus on improving those parts of your life and not dwelling on your height. So, just focus on that stuff that you can control and don't worry about your height.
Yep. Focus on what you can control, guys. So where can people find you online?
So here on YouTube, just look for The Modest Man. You can also go over to themodestman.com and find my articles, or at Modest Man Style on Instagram.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the channel, man.
Dude, thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed this collaboration, guys. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you're new here. And let me know in the comments, who would you like to see me collaborate with in the future? Wish you all a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.